If there is one driver coming into tonight's event that absolutely summarizes the current state of IORA, it is the driver who dominated last week in Wilkes County, Chase Schaefer. Round 11 winner. This is round 12 in Kansas. He is looking to run it back and get one more victory before we head to the Christmas break. 9th position on the charts right now. 15 cars ready to do battle, and more are entering. And Schaefer, at the moment, sitting just inside the top 10. Mason Moriarty, top of the charts thus far. 7 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in practice as he goes side by side with Aiden Walker. Walker putting driver of the 6 machine up into the wall. There it's still a lot of time to get a lot of expertise, a lot of knowledge in the car. Moriarty faster than Thurston by 8/1000ths of a second. James Thurston on pit road as we speak. Michael Cormetis is in 3rd, and Vera Page is in position number 4. Sean Conklin is in 5th, Aiden Walker position number 6, and Alex Anderson is in 7th. Your league owner returning once again to finish out the first half of the season on the racing surface. Maximilian looks to be the only man on the racetrack right now. The number 7 machine on its way as it looks like Molina putting together a part-time effort here in the latter half of the season, beginning it just a bit early in North Wilkesboro and then in Kansas. And it looks like Molina here to stay as the season will go on. Michael Dietz, the number 57 machine, on his way as well, with a Jimmy Johnson throwback there. Still in the Hendrick family with that 57. Dietz in 14th on the charts right now as Braxton Whitaker is in 15th. Those are the people we have him on the track just yet. Max Molina 13th. And running up, Beaver Serrano coming back after a very strong second season. And season number 2 for the driver of the 66 machine, 4th in points. And that was a season, especially impressive season for Serrano. We have not seen too much this season. However, he is back once again, looking to prove that he's still got the pace. 10th on the charts thus far here in Kansas. Mason Moriarty is still leading the way here as he makes contact with Chase Schaefer. Still 5 minutes remaining in practice here, and while there is a lot of time to get a few more laps in, we'll see whether or not these guys use a lot of drivers just messing around in practice, and that happens after a 40-minute practice session. 35 have already gone through. Sean Conklin double layering the numbers tonight. Not sure why, but we definitely see it on that W. Taking machine. RPM, Roperry Motorsports taking multiple W's this season, but Sean Conklin still looking for one in the next gen. The trucks seem to be his best chance at a victory week after week. Aiden Walker, 93 machine on his way. Alex Anderson is as well. And Anderson, the number 67 Focus Factor machine, 7th on the charts thus far, making up more time as we speak. And he's looking to get one done here tonight. Getting very close this season. His best finish, a runner-up in the 36th IORA Cup Series, and looking to break through and break new ground and become a Cup Series winner in, of course, the IORA Cup Series. Sean Conklin, 5th on the charts thus far. Aiden Walker is in 6th, and he's going to take it for a spin. Max Molina still looking to get a bit quicker here. He won the FORL Cup Series event, but it looks like these guys run a different setup because Molina is struggling, and it is evident he is 13th position thus far out of the 17 drivers who have shown up to this event. 15 have taken it to the track. And Sean Rowe in the number 19 machine is the last of which to register so far. The Bell South number 19 machine, different paint scheme than what we see in the FORL Cup Series. Of course, they ran at Kansas just about 2 weeks ago. And Rowe gets it into the wall. The axle destroyed on the number 19. Brandon Dugan, position number 11. Looks like his paint scheme still loading in here. As Max Molina going around, find a little bit more of speed. That is what he's trying to do. The number 7 Slicky Ricky machine. Got a lot of time to do so, of course. Qualifying coming up soon, and he also has the remainder of practice. We'll see what he's got. And if he has what it takes to get into the front of the pack, still looks like the draft is going to be the biggest factor here. And Molina has none of it. And surely setting together a group of consistent laps. Not a lot of time disparity, lap after lap. And he is still pushing to the fullest, going all the way down to the inside line and coming all the way back up. And down to the Geico apron section. Here, the Geico restart zone. And Max Molina still setting 31-second laps without any draft. Sean Conklin on the racetrack as well in that number 54 machine. As it stands, Sean Rowe looking to get his first full lap in at the same time. And as it stands, he is going to become the next driver to put a lap down. The only one who has it after Rowe will be driver Zach Todger from the 054 who registered. Let's see whether or not he races tonight. Kyle Freeman, one of the only drivers off the track, as Rowe's going to get into the wall just a bit. And the Bell South number 19 having a little bit of trouble there, but he is still pushing. That lap's going to be 31.504. That puts him in 15th, now 16th on the charts, as he is below Braxton Whitaker on pace thus far. And he's still got a lot of time to improve. We've seen a sort of rebirth in Sean Rowe running very well in the Wednesday series, the FORL Cup Series, but FORL off for tonight. So we'll not be seeing him run that this week or the next. And until then, we see Sean Rowe live in action tonight in Kansas, just with the IORA Cup Series group. James Thurston going to get into a big incident there with Aiden Walker. And they both spin all the way around and back again, as 1 minute and 45 seconds remain for James Thurston to try to get on top of the practice charts, but a lot of guys not electing to take extra practice laps, so there's not going to see much more improvement out of any of these drivers. Aiden Walker not on the racetrack thus far. Sean Conklin is. Alex Anderson goes all the way up to the high side there, and he is pushing, but he gets in the wall just a bit. Not going to be happy about that one. The number 67 is. A lot more time to make up, as he's about 1/10 of a second away from the fastest driver in this session so far, Mason Moriarty. Aiden Walker now on the racetrack, and he's looking to put his fastest lap together this time by running up all the way on the high side. Looks to be a little more ability to put the throttle down all the way around. And he is pushing. We'll see whether or not that high side gives enough of an advantage on momentum to get a faster time. It will not this time for Aiden Walker. Big time into the wall. Chase Schaefer in 9th. Multi-car incident coming to the stripe. And with 38 seconds remaining. And the motor appears to be blown there for Chase Schaefer. Gets right into Sean Rowe. And Braxton Whitaker looks to be one of the only drivers not involved in this incident just yet. And the number 51 Brax Tech machine looking nice out here. 15th on the charts thus far, and a lot of room for improvement. We'll see whether or not the draft is the grand equalizer. As it looks like we're going to see another spin right in front of Whitaker, but at that point it is all said and done. Mason Moriarty is the fastest driver in practice. Let's move on to see which driver will take the pole position here in Kansas. And let's watch uninterrupted. And a lot of great drivers here tonight looking to see what they've got in store for us. Let's find out who's going to get it done here in qualifying. Michael Cormettis on the track now. And the 025 machine, not a lot of practice for him. He's looking to make his move and make it well in that Red Bull number 25 machine for the first time tonight. Not a lot of track time beforehand. Time is now to make his maneuver. As the engine roars for that 25 machine, a lot of drivers on the track as well. Aiden Walker in the 93. Mason Moriarty in the 6. And River Page, James Thurston there as well. Beaver Serrano on pit road. Braxton Whitaker on his way. And the first driver through the qualifying start is Aiden Walker in the 93. And the Storm Seeker number 93 looks to be the one pushing toward the Storm. The calm is over. These laps are the ones that count. 2 laps, less than 5 minutes, and now less than 4 minutes remain before the 93 machine puts himself on the grid for certain. And looking for that pole position, Aiden Walker in the thick of the championship battle. Coming down to the stripe that time by Aiden Walker's got a 31.15, and that does put him to the top of the charts for now. Michael Cormettis right behind him. Lap doesn't appear to be valid. And a lot of guys struggling with that as James Thurston puts it in second, 1/10 behind. Michael Dietz in fourth. River Page is in third position. James Thurston in the Christmas-themed Haas machine. Looking good here tonight. Much different take on his traditional design than usual. Sean Rowe in third right now, and it looks like he gets a bit squirrely. He's going to lose it all the way here, and it looks like his qualifying run done and done. The 19 machine down and out. The Bell South machine, a lot of damage. Aiden Walker puts it up to second. Sean Conklin puts it up to first, and his qualifying run is over. Top of the charts for Sean Conklin as River Page goes up to the top by 2/100th of a second. River Page is on top, and a lot of guys who were put up at the front of the pack beforehand, they already are concluding their runs. Thurston done, Moriarty done. River Page, he might just have what it takes as Braxton Whitaker puts it up into 9th. How about it? Corey Lyle's on his way, looking to make his second lap count. His first lap puts him up at 9th. This is the time for the 56 Hooters machine to prove what he's got. Max Molina, first lap, going to put him in 8th. Beaver Serrano, Alex Anderson, first laps as well for those two drivers. And Beaver coming around this time by. Let's see what he's got in store. Serrano going to blink just a bit, but coming down to the stripe there. And for Beaver, it is going to be up to position number 13 at best thus far. Max Molina coming down to the stripe, and that's going to be position number 9. He's not moving up that time by just 300th short of Chase Schaefer's 300th gap for race. Beaver Serrano on his way in his second lap. Alex Anderson is as well. Their first laps both did not count. And coming down to the stripe, the Geico apron or the Geico restart zone. Let's see what he's got in store. Beaver Serrano, that time by, puts it in 8th. And Alex Anderson, that time by, will not get a qualifying lap counted. Zach Todriff, the next man up. And Todriff running the PBR Bell South machine, the exact same pace scheme. Compared. Sean Rowe, exactly the same, besides the number. The 54 machine on his way. And it looks like he will back it down. His qualifying run is over. And Zach Todriff will not have a lap count for timing and scoring for qualifying. And that is the conclusion of qualifying. Then there were none. And the driver leading us off in this event at Kansas, who else but the driver, the 24 in River Page. And we'll see whether or not we're capable of getting an interview from him, and it looks like we will be able to do just that. How about it for River Page, pole sitter tonight? And what a job he has done putting it up on the top of the charts. And we got to give it up to him. This is his first pole position of the season. River Page, you're leading us to green here in Kansas. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good, but I don't think that's gonna last long up front. I'm not really that good here. I don't know how I got pole. When the track's at 100% and everyone's going as fast as they can, I'm definitely not the fastest, but I'm happy to be on pole. It's definitely good to have clean air. I realized from practice, it blows when you're just behind people. So.
And clean air looking to be the name of the game here in Kansas. And when will the strategy come into play when it comes to being aggressive? Will you have to lay back at the start or be aggressive all the way? And how will that impact you toward the end of the race?
I'm so sorry. I literally can't hear what you're saying because iRacing chat's so loud. Give me a second. Okay, can you repeat your question?
How's the strategy going to play out for you? You're going to be aggressive all the way, or you're just going to have to be a little more conservative going throughout this race and push at the very end?
I definitely think conservative is the way to go. Tires are pretty important here, more than most tracks with the Next-Gen, I think. So, yeah, I'm just going to try and take it easier on the bottom, do everything that I can to save the tires while staying up front.
And absolutely, a lot of guys here looking to stay up front as well. One last time before we head to our Christmas break, what's the end goal? Coming out with the win or just coming home with a solid points run?
Well, I think obviously a win would be cool, but I'm just want to get some solid points so I can guarantee a spot in the chase and then make a run for the championship.
Absolutely. River Page looking to do a great job tonight, putting himself in the hunt for the championship. Number 24 machine leads us off tonight. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
And there we have it, River Page in the number 24 machine. How about that for the man who's going to lead us off? And let's run through your starting grid before we get this show on the road. Led off by, of course, the 24 machine. Let's get through your entire starting grid. Let's put together the picture heading in to this race. It's going to be 70 laps here at Kansas, and it's going to be a great show put on. We have a total of 17 drivers on the racing surface, and it looks like every one of them is able to get on to the starting grid. And let's run through every driver in this one. Led off by who else but the number 24 machine in River Page with a 30.948. And in second position, Sean Conklin with a 30.971. Position number 3, Mason Moriarty and James Thurston, the first driver outside the 30-second range with a 31.044. Then in fifth, Aiden Walker, Michael Cormenis in sixth. Fourth row, Beaver Serrano in 8th, and Corey Lyles in 7th, and rounding at the top 10 is Chase Schaefer and Max Molina. Then we've got Sean Rowe, Braxton Whitaker, Michael Diaz, Alex Anderson, the first driver to qualify on iRacing, Zach Todriff, Brandon Dugan, and finally Kyle Freeman, the 17th place driver, number 29 machine. He is 17th, and he's riding shotgun tonight. The man up front looking to get it done. First time we've seen him all the way up front in qualifying. Will he back it up in the race? We will wait. And we will see. It's Paige Conklin, your front row. And it is a series of Mustangs on the second. But it's a lot of drivers, a lot of manufacturers, very diverse up front. We got all 3 manufacturers in this race, dominated mostly by Ford and Chevy. But that doesn't mean we've got room, or rather, that doesn't mean we don't have room for the Toyotas. Well, there are fewer. They've certainly got the pace to be up front in the long run. And there we have it. The grid rounded out in the iRacing pace car. Looking to dive down one last time before we get to the show here. Practice, it's over. And qualifying, it's over. Let's get on to the main event here. It is green in Kansas. Let's go racing once more. And everyone Conklin, Mason Moriarty, James Thurston in 4th, and rounding in the top 5 thus far, it's Aiden Walker in the number 93. Max Molina makes an aggressive maneuver, but it's not going to pay off. It's going to be Chase Schaefer getting the better of that one. He makes those passes, and he's up in front. He's in 6th now. Leader of the first lap, River Page. Conklin in 2nd. James Thurston in 3rd. Mason Moriarty in 4th, and Michael Cormenis in 5th. Chase Schaefer in 6th now, as Molina goes for 7th. And Sean Rowe right there as well. He is fighting. Let's see what he's got in store here. As that 93 machine looks to push down to the inside line. And Aiden Walker there as well. They're double file a few rows deep, but Chase Schaefer going to take it to the inside line. And he's going to make that move on Mason Moriarty. James Thurston right in front of him now. Schaefer goes for a worthy 4th position if he gets it, but he's in 5th now. James Thurston in 3rd. Now, right behind the Sean Conklin machine, and River Page still leads him through 3 of 70. So throughout the pack, a lot of drivers side by side. Cormenis almost put up into the wall there by Max Molina. But they still keep it going. Chase Schaefer, position number 4. Looks like he's got it that time by. He can run it off on the back straightaway. The high line is going to come to his advantage, and he's going to use it down the back. The American ethanol back straightaway, you can see the outside line. He just had the advantage. The momentum was there. And Schaefer moves up to 4th. James Thurston is in 3rd, and Sean Conklin is in 2nd. Position number 1 thus far, single file for the top 8 drivers. And then we have Aiden Walker fighting side by side with Sean Rowe. We'll see or not. Rowe has the momentum to make it happen here. Does not look like he does yet. And it looks like Chase Schaefer going to make a big maneuver up to the high side of James Thurston. And going up there, it looks like he's got the tires to make it happen. And on the outside line, Chase Schaefer takes another spot. The inside looked to be oh so dominant. Schaefer makes another pass on the outside. There looks to be no stopping the man in that number 99 machine. Schaefer is your 3rd position driver thus far. He's up yet another series of spots. Let's see whether or not he gets 2nd. And Page still has a 2/10 of a second gap over Sean Conklin. Not a bad gap thus far. James Thurston in fourth. Sean Conklin second as Max Molina gets in the wall there. He's in positions down the apron. And it's still going to be a hard-fought battle for the driver of Max Molina, as he is losing just more and more, down to 10th now. As it looks like it's going to be Brandon Dugan side by side with Beaver Serrano there for 15th. Michael Diaz right in front of him. Zach Todgers making his way up into 12th, right behind Alex Anderson. And that number 67, Max Molina, there as well. And Corey Lyles John Conklin still right there behind your race leader of River Page. Chase Schaefer in third. James Thurston in fourth. And Mason Moriarty rounds out your top five. Michael Grametis in position number 6. John Rose 7th, Aiden Walker 8th. And Molina goes side by side with Corey Lyles on the high side, trying to make that position back. Lyles, your Daytona winner, might just have to let Molina slide. That time worked. And will be Corey Lyles getting a spot. And Chase Schaefer right there, getting closer and closer to Sean Conklin. Each time by, Thurston gonna slide up, not gonna be able to make the pass. Moriarty has the run now. And Michael Romanis there as well. We got a bundle of cars fighting for that third spot. Schaefer leads them. It's gonna be 4 drivers in one spot if Cormetis can keep himself in the mix here. He's led all 10 laps thus far. A very clean first 10 laps. And we are looking to have a long green flag run if this continues. We'll see whether or not it does, though. And a lot of times I find out whether or not the aggression level will build up. We'll see whether or not it does. As it stands, though, a lot of time. And it looks like for any driver, it looks like the name of the game seems to be just keeping it in one piece. Mason Moriarty in 5th, nonetheless. Single file action. Michael Romanis in 6th. Corey Lyles is in now the 9th position, as it's a 4-car bundle for 10th. Todgers gets in the mix here, and he's got a lot of momentum. Let's see what he can do as he gets nearby his teammate, Max Molina. PBR having a good run here, as it looks like Molina going to get down to the inside line, get almost right beside Alex Anderson. Corey Lyles there as well. It's a side-by-side fight here for position of 9, but he's dissipated, and now it's a single file run. 12 laps in, and everyone looks to be single filing out. And the remainder of the field, now that it's all calmed down, looks to be settling in for a long run. Chase Schaefer right behind Sean Conklin, 12 laps in out of 70. And it looks like Sean Rowe very close to the wall, but they're not going to be able to make it over. Almost wrecks him, but he keeps it in one piece. And he gets right on Zach Todgers that time by 56. Contact with the 54. And Molina goes up as a result. And Max Molina going to harness the outside line to try to keep up with Alex Anderson there. We'll see whether or not that strategy pays off. Going to be a bold move. As Cormetis goes down the inside, Mason Moriarty, and Moriarty, the number 6 machine, down to position number 6. And Aiden Walker there as well. For the machine. Sean Rowe fighting, and he's pushing his hardest. And we'll see whether or not he has what it takes as well. Alex Anderson in 9th. Max Molina in 10th. River Page now side by side with Conklin. And Sean Conklin right down there as well. And it looks like now the 54 might have a pace advantage. And Conklin makes him wide. Double file here. Page defends like a lion. Page is going to lose 2 position. Chase Schaefer up to 2nd. And it's Sean Conklin, your race leader. Schaefer down to the inside line. And he's got the maneuver working already. This opens it up all the way. James Thurston now in the mix for the race lead. 15 laps in. Schaefer down to the inside line. And he's going to try to make it stick this time by. He's not going to be able to do so unless Conklin gets in the wall. Now he does. Jay Schaefer, race lead. Thurston, position number 3. And he's going to make a maneuver on the inside line as well. Conklin scrapes the outside again. But he's going to make a crossover maneuver. Schaefer in the wall. And now Conklin's got the edge. And Conklin clears Schaefer. And the maneuver for the race lead sticks. 2 lead changes of 1 lap. And Michael Gourmenis watching as Drew Page is losing a lot of spots. Tire saving, he has not done. And Page down into 6th. And Schaefer goes down to the inside once again, trying to get that race lead. Conklin gets in the wall. Does he have a crossover set up? No, he does not. But the outside's got an awful lot of momentum. He won't even have to cross him over. Conklin back to the lead. The RPM number 54 leads over Chase Schaefer. James Thurston right there as well. And it might be a case of using up what he's got for Chase Schaefer once again. And dominating last week, not the case thus far, but he's up front for a reason. Does he have what it takes to get the victory? We will find out. Still a lot of time to determine this one. And only so much time before James Thurston perhaps has some pressure on Mason Moriarty. Moriarty has gone from 6th to 4th. And Sean Conklin still leads now with a 0.2 of a second advantage. Sean Rowe gets past Alex Anderson that time by. Ian Walker, 93 machine out in his own world. He's got a position now on River Page. Page down to 7th and losing spots rapidly. Chase Schaefer is in 2nd, but he's got a lot of pressure for James Thurston. Thurston is fighting as hard as he can. And there we have it. A battle for 2nd once again. Thurston and Schaefer, they've been battling all season long fiercely. And there is no boundary for these 2 drivers ever since their incident in the Thunderstorm League of Racing. They might just do battle intense. Once again, intense battles are we're used to them. And now it's going to be Thurston going to the high side, trying to use the momentum. And Schaefer absolutely tries to block him off. Not going to happen. He's getting squirrely once again. 20 laps in, Schaefer falls back down to 3rd. And now it's going to be Thurston chasing Conklin. And surely the driver of the 54 machine has to move on with the pace. As that time by, Conklin sets down at 32.646. And Thurston will be held back 0.2 of a second faster. How about that? 96 machine, fastest man on the racing surface thus far. And 1 second fall off through 21 laps for these tires. And Alex Anderson in the 8 machine, in the 8th position machinery, a 67. Pushing as hard as he can. He's got a position on Sean Rowe. Beavis Serrano now going to make it for 10th position. Serrano gets past Max Molina. That is for 10th. And it's a 4-car fight fighting for that 10th spot. Brandon Dugan, Max Molina, Corey Lyles. Everyone there fighting as hard as ever. Conklin still leads, but Thurston reeling him in. Chase Schaefer still in frame. There we had it. The driver of the 96 machine looked to be down and out for a moment. Conklin and Schaefer fighting as hard as ever. And how about it? Once again, these 2 battle. Conklin and Thurston, they fought for several victories. And Thurston not happy with the conduct of Conklin's racing as he goes as far as he can just to make it happen. But this time by, he'll just have to defend with a lot of time remaining. It's all about playing it brightly now. And strategy in the long run matters more than defense in the short term. As you can see, the wide shot, only 4 drivers in frame. Conklin still leads them. Wheeler Page falling down further and further. Page now in 8th with pressure for 9th. Going up to the middle groove there. Well, up to the high side, now going down to the bottom. The 19 machine's going to make it by on River Page now. And that 24 losing a lot of time, losing a lot of speed. And that's not good. The Blackwood Builders Group, number 24, losing a lot of pace more and more as time goes on. And he's going to slip down to 9th. Conklin still leads it with Thurston, but just barely. looks like now Thurston going onto the high side for a last-ditch effort. Not going to be able to make it happen. Chase Schaefer there as well in third. And he gets in the wall once again, 25 laps in. And Michael Cormenes still there as well. Aiden Walker in the mix in the 5th position. And all these guys trying to reel in the leaders once again. It's a 1/10 of a second between the top 2 drivers. Now Cormenes and Walker are in frame. Double file, the 96 goes down to the inside. And it is the sun setting, leading into the nighttime as the shadows are out here in iRacing. And the virtual Kansas Speedway, certainly a different in track condition as the number 54 still has the lead over James Thurston, 26 laps in out of 70. And Chase Schaefer pushing as hard as ever here, trying to get a second win in a row. Michael Cormenes there as well. And a 25 right there with Aiden Walker. Well, Cormenes looks for his first win of the season. Right now he's battling for a top 5. That is surely his priority as both drivers go side by side, and Walker that time by has the advantage of momentum, and he's going to use it to his advantage. Pushing through the old 25 machine. Has it in store. And he will have to wait as Aiden Walker gets the spot. Chase Schaefer in third. James Thurston in second. Sean Carr leading by now less than a 1/10 of a second. Chase Schaefer watches and waits. Thurston gets right up to the quarter panel. No contact thus far. They're getting closer than ever before. This could be the moment. And it could be the moment that determines if that is for certain. Thurston down to the inside line. He is clear by a long margin. And he's got it this time by. If he's just able to hold on. Goes up to the high side of the racetrack. Conklin gets some damage. Gets into the wall. And Thurston gets that lap. He's going to have the advantage going into the first turn. And double file they still are, the 96 machine, James Thurston, and the number 54, Sean Conklin. How about Chase Schaefer still holding on in third as Walker and Cormenes slowly but surely reel in the leaders, 29 laps out of 30. Until we get to, of course, the 30th lap, but 29 out of 70 in total makes Sim Moriarty right there behind him. Alex Anderson in his own world as well, as Beaver Serrano is going to get by River Page. That's for 10th. And Page falling from the pole position all the way down to 10th. And he's going to go down to the inside line. And tries to get 9th back that time. Not going to be able to make it stick. Not just yet. Serrano runs it high, and he's going to get into the wall big time. He scrapes it, and he's going to get a lot of damage. The 66 in trouble now. Max Molina still watching and waiting right behind him. And with the Conklin machine pushing as hard as ever, he's going to have to defend like a lion still. And how about it for James Thurston? Not out of reach. This race victory is. Chase Schaefer still there as well. James Thurston pushing like this is his last race and his last opportunity in IORA for the remainder of the year. And he is taking every single lap to the fullest. As Cormenes goes down to the inside line, Aiden Walker there as well. 5th position, Cormenes. 4th position is Walker. And Chase Schaefer in the middle of them all. It's a 99 machine right there, watching the battle for the top 2 position, watching the battle for the final spot in the top 5. But now Conklin pulling out an edge once again. First half of this race, no caution, and we got drivers already coming onto pit road. Rowe and Page, your first drivers in, and the strategy is changing up. And there we have it. Pit strategy. It's going to come into play here. Let's see who comes onto pit road next. Page, Rowe, there as Max Molina going to take a big dive down to the inside line. On the pace that time, and he has split 3. Max Molina does. Now he's down to 10th. Serrano right there, down to the inside line, and he's going to get really squirrely, saves it, and Serrano having a lot of trouble controlling the car. He might have to come down to pit road this time by. And the 66 machine having a lot of trouble here. He looks to have a possibility of coming down to pit road, and that he does. Yellow flag is out, and it is for Max Molina. who spins right in front of oncoming traffic. Half of this race ran under green, and Molina spins in front of the field. Although he spun after the yellow flag came out. Let's find out what happened. 40-second replay on Max Molina. And the slicky Ricky number 7 machine has a little bit of trouble. Looks like he got caught in a little slip, but we're not sure what happened in specific. He comes down trying to get onto pit road, and he comes back up the racetrack, and that's what happens. Tries to get it back in control, and the caution, it's thrown for the first time tonight. No damage. Everyone seems to be still capable of having a clean car. And here we go once again. Max Molina in the 07. First cause of the first caution of the night. And how about that? Everyone's going to get shuffled in. Pit road will be busy this time by. Conklin going to lead him through. Well, let's find out who wins the race off pit road. The 54, 96, 99, 93, the 025, Alex Anderson, the 67, Corey Lyles and Brandon Dugan in the 55 with Beaver Serrano and Zach Todriff. Braxton Whitaker as well, rounding out this pit road run. Let's see the race off pit road, and let's find out who will get the victory off pit road, as still drivers are entering as fast as they can. And let's see who's going to be able to get it done. River Page going to get his lap back that time by. And we are watching race off pit road. Let's get a little bit of a close-up shot here. James Thurston is going to be the winner off pit road. Then it's going to be Aiden Walker, Michael Cormetis, side by side. Cormetis gets the better of him. Sean Conklin, Alex Anderson, Jay Shaver, Corey Lyles, Beaver Serrano, Mason Moriarty, Max Molina, and Braxton Whitaker appears to be right there with Zach Todriff, as Molina still on pit road with Sean Rowe. And Page out in front, and strategy has paid off. The Hail Mary, it will work with James Thurston. He was in the mix for that lead all run long. And let's get back into the swing of things here and get an interview from the driver, the number 96 machine, James Thurston. You were up front throughout the entirety of that run, and how are you feeling going into the remainder of this one? The 96 machine now at the top of the charts. What's the game plan from here on out?
Get the lead and win. I mean, there's nothing else I can do. That's about it. I'm not really going to have any more pit strategy unless we have another caution. So yeah, just keep track position and just don't kill the tires.
And track position looks to be especially important here tonight. Not a lot of, shall we say, chaos so far, as it looked to be a very, very close battle between you and Sean Conklin. Do you think you'll see a similar battle if Conklin's able to make it back up front from 4th position?
Possibly, for sure. He does not give an inch, and it's either gonna give him the win or end up wrecking us both, but we'll see.
And absolutely, we will see tires looking to be a very important factor. And are the tires the most important part of the strategy, or is there something else leading in to who will get this victory here in Kansas?
I think tires mean a lot, but dirty air means quite a lot too. So yeah, I mean, if you're just in front and you block the guy behind you enough, it's going to be real hard for them to get to you.
And there we have it. Strategy looking to be a combination of factors, tires certainly being one of them, but being out front, a big advantage as well. And James Thurston, he has that advantage. Any final thoughts?
Oh, we're going 1 to green this time by, and yeah, just hopefully we can have some good long runs, not get too many, restarts, and hopefully we don't end this thing in a green-white checkered and have chaos to the finish, because that's no fun. But yeah, it's been fun so far, and yeah, hopefully we have a good rest of the race.
And then we have thoughts for our current race leader, James Thurston. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
The 96 machine leads the way as we are 1-2 green, and we are going to present a brief message from one of our partners, and we will be right back. We hope you enjoyed the presentation. You won't miss a thing here live on FTN. Let's go Fireball Talks nonstop.
This message is brought to you by
And it appears, as a matter of fact, we will unfortunately not have time to get through the remainder of this presentation. Got to thank the guys over at Throttle Graphics and Designs, who it looks like we are going to be going back to the action this time by. And here we go. Let's get back to the show, led by James Thurston. We are back. Let's go back to the action. And James Thurston and the number 96 machine are right there, side by side with Michael Cornelius. And the 25 machine on the inside line, able to make the advantage work here. And he is your current race leader. James Thurston there as well in the second spot. Outside line, 39 laps in at a 70. A lot of time to make this happen. And here we go. The battle continues on the high side. James Thurston has the run. Will he be able to make it stick? We're going to find out. That time by, looks like Thurston's going to be able to lead the lap. And it is a very, very close lap now. Walker in the mix of it as well. And Thurston looks to get a very, very big gap now. As the remainder of the field is still shuffling. Chase Schaefer trying to make a maneuver happen. Double file. He will go for a moment. Not going to be able to make it stick. Sean Conklin double file with Aiden Walker. And a 99 machine right there. As you can see, Sean Conklin gets right in front of the wall. And a lot of trouble for a lot of drivers. 40 laps in at the second. And James Thurston there as well. Side by side. It looks like Sean Conklin's going to go with Schaefer. And 41 laps in out of 70. A lot of fighting in the pack. Well, 41 laps through. We have less than half of this race remaining. And it is a very intense battle, lap after lap. And as it stands, 30 laps to go. Led by James Thurston. Right there in second. And Walker third. Sean Conklin in fourth, the top five single file. We got a lot of action here in the middle of the pack. Sean Rowe, 3 wide for a moment. He gets really squirrely. What's he going to do about it? Sean Rowe looks to go off the screen. He's going to go off the track, but he saves it. We stay green. James Thurston there as well. Michael Cornelius in second, Aiden Walker in third. And Sean Conklin in fourth, Chase Schaefer there as well. Walker the battle rages on. For the third position. And there we go. These guys are still fighting. Conklin right there on the inside line. Schaefer in the middle, Aiden Walker up to the high side. And Walker gets the better of the rest of them. And Lyles watching and waiting for his opportunity to get out front. Watching the nose camera, Corey Lyles. You can see how close he is to the battle here. Down to the inside line, Sean Conklin goes. Tyler Corey Lyles watching that battle right in front of him. 27 laps to go. And the 56 machine leading him. Not yet. But he is still in the mix to get the victory. As Mason Morelli going to go down the inside line. Peter Page does as well. And Lyles has the momentum. Going to put a surge back into him on the high side. There we have it. Up to the high side. He went for a moment, but Lyles still makes it. Nonetheless, James Thurston is your race leader. And Michael Cornelius is in second. Top two drivers separated by 1/10 of a second. And they are the closest they've been all race long, of course. Michael Cornelius fighting as hard as ever to make it happen. Chase Schaefer, Aiden Walker, very close to one another. Walker in place up maneuver there that's going to block Schaefer out. Now Schaefer's going to be forced out to the high side of the racing surface. And he's going to have quite a lot of trouble getting back out front. Although for now, Schaefer looks to be able to save it and keep his position intact. Moriarty down to the inside line. And Chase Schaefer fighting as hard as he can for position number 4 here. The top 7-8 drivers. And with 25 laps to go, Chase Schaefer is one of them. 3 wide now for a moment. And Walker looking to block Mason Moriarty for third. Cornelius goes up to the high side. Multi-groove action here. And Thurston fighting as hard as ever. As Cornelius now is your new race leader. And Michael Cornelius looking for win number 1 on the season. Will tonight be the night he gets it done? We're going to find out because it looks to be especially fast here thus far. And he has the pace. With 23 laps to go, he might be able to settle it. Quarter panel action. Down to the inside line. James Thurston goes. Michael Cormetis up high. And double file your leaders are. And they might be able to make something happen this time by Thurston down to the inside line and Cormetis up high. And they are still double file after 3 consecutive laps of being so. Walker, third position here. Michael Cormetis is 22 laps to go. You know what that means. It's time to crank it up. TrackCam22.com, the best cameras on iRacing. And we love using them as much as we love presenting them to all of you. Let's crank it up here with 22 to go for TrackCams 22. And now, with 19 laps to go, Michael Cormetis is pulling out a gap. And he looks to be able to secure this one if he keeps it up the way he's been going. 1 caution all race long. And Corey Lyle's going to go side by side with Mason Moriarty, but no issue just yet. The 6 machine and the 56 machine fighting his arms out. And 24 Ruben Page there as well. But James Thurston losing more and more time and losing more and more pace. It looks like the man out front might be able to wrap it out here and wrap it up as well. Michael Cormetis, with 18 laps to go, looks to be able to secure win number 1 on the season, so long as he keeps the pace he has thus far. And Lyles side by side with Page. Page not going to be able to get the better of it, and Lyles does, as a matter of fact. That is for the position number 6. And for 6th, indeed it is. But now Mason Moriarty wants to file a challenge for the spot, and that he will. And Mason looks to be able to get that spot for only a moment. As he gets a much better exit, it looks like he's going to have some help from Zach Todriff. The fight for 6th between 4 cars. And it's going to include Zach Todriff now as Page gets in the wall just a bit. Aiden Walker there as well. Michael Cormetis leading by 0.2 of a second. And he might be able to wrap this one up in no time. We'll find out later on he's able to do so. We're going to take a lot out of the driver on the 25 machine. With so much time to get it done, and so few opportunities for mistakes. The more mistakes you make with so few opportunities, only 4 turns, throttle management, the worse it is if you make any one of these mistakes. And it looks like now James Thurston is your race leader. And this could spell disaster. Michael Cormetis' computer might have just went out right now. Cormetis, if he does not come back onto the racing surface within a round, his computer has crashed from the lead for the 2nd time in 2 weeks. And with 15 laps to go, Michael Cormetis looks to be out of this one due to an internet issue, a computer failure to say the least. And he's not on the racing surface. It looks like Michael Cormetis from the race lead is disconnected. And now the race is in James Thurston's hands with 15, which will become 14 laps to go. Incredible turn of events. Cormetis down and out due to a hardware failure. And now, the battles between James Thurston and the up-and-comer here of Aiden Walker. And Walker now looks to have the pace to settle it, dead even with Thurston that time by. And how about it? The 93 machine rolls up to the high side, and James Thurston still leads. But it's getting closer and closer, time after time. The draft is now in effect, and it's going to play into the end of this race. 93. How about that? This will be his first win of the season. He gets it done. Big wiggle there for the driver of Aiden Walker, and that might put an end to his race for the victory. If he has any damage from that maneuver. Doesn't look like he does any thus far. But Chase Schaefer now fighting with Zach Todger for 5th, which will become 4th. Cormetis off the timing and scoring sheets. 12 laps to go. He is not on a racing surface at all. From the lead, disconnecting, a hardware failure. And he's not able to make it back up on the racing surface once again. Looks like his race is over from the lead all the way down to last. 3 wide. Page is going to be able to clear. And this is for 7th. Moriarty goes down there all the way to the inside line. Might be able to make it happen. 12 laps to go here. It's now or never if you want the spot. And Page gets on the wall. They're side by side. Doorbell. And Moriarty has the advantage. James Thurston still leading by 4/10 of a second. Becomes half a second that time by. And he looks to have a Sunday drive here. Has no competition now with Michael Cormetis out of his way. John Conklin, 3rd. Maximiliano 3 wide there for a moment. Moriarty able to pull away as River Page side by side with Molina getting a little bit antsy here. These guys are. And 3 wide for just a moment. Corey Lau is going to back out. And River Page going double file with 10 laps to go. The clock is ticking for every one of these drivers. Page being one of them. It's now or never when it comes to pulling off that race victory. Zach Todger gonna pull down to the inside of the racing surface. Alex Anderson's in the mix now. And Anderson is now in 5th, looking for position number 4. John Conklin 3rd, but he's gonna get a big wiggle there. Goes down to the apron, tries to condense the timing and the distance. But he's certainly being chased up by Chase Schaefer. And Alex Anderson there as well. Anderson goes down to the inside line. Might be able to concede the gap. Chase Schaefer does. And they're double file for position number 4. Maximiliano there with River Page. Page losing time. And now Corey Lau's right up on his rear bumper. And Lyles tries to make a move. Page defends. The 24 machine goes down to the inside line. James Thurston still leads with 8 laps to go here in Kansas. And Sean Conklin, 3rd position now is Aiden Walker in 2nd. And Alex Anderson in 4th. He's chasing down Conklin as fast as he can get there. Last time by, 0.3 of a second faster than the man in 3rd. The podium placements might have one final shakeup before this race ends. Molina Moriarty, side by side. Molina's got the better of him. Now, it looks like Maximiliano up in front of Mason Moriarty, back to position number 7. As Michael Cormetis is back on the racing surface, 7 laps down. And the caution is not out for his hardware failure. And the hardware, it failed him, that's for certain. In the lead of this race, all the way down to 15th. And Michael Diach, now 8 laps down, still on the surface. But nothing's going to come of it there. Corey Lyles side by side with Page. River Page really giving him no room and not giving an inch. Either drivers are. 6 laps to go. Kansas. And he's got a 0.6 of a second lead. James Thurston does. Chase Schaefer side by side with Zach Todger. And quarter of panels, the only thing keeping them together. Schaefer has the edge that time by. Down to the inside line, Chase Schaefer goes. Zach Todger there as well. And Schaefer still on the inside line. Mason Moriarty up to the high side, and Maximiliano makes his move once again. This is for 7th. 5 laps to go. Molina back in position number 7. This battle has been back and forth all race long. Alex Anderson, Sean Conklin now side by side. Anderson's been able to claw up to 3rd, and he's going to get it. And he might be able to chase down Aiden Walker with his pace. Walker's falling down by 0.3 of a second this lap by, as James Thurston now leads by over a second. 4 laps to do it. Round 12 is going to be heading into overtime. This changes everything. Sean Conklin spins in front of the pack. We are going to overtime. And hold on now. We're not done yet. Let's find out what happened. 40-second replay on the matter. Sean Conklin passed by Alex Anderson. And that we did see. Coming up to the high side, gets in the wall, and he gets it all loosened up. Nobody gets him. Single car incident in front of the field. The yellow flag comes out as a result. Nobody else affected. But looks like Conklin gets the worst of it. And we are now heading into a green-white checkered scenario. Unbelievable how clean this race has been, and unbelievable that it ends up with one man, Catbird Walker, as we now have a new set of tires to put on. Pit road's going to be busy one more time. And how about it? One last time. Everyone comes down pit road with 3 laps to go. And Walker, aggressive on the inside line, trying to get that victory up pit road. This time means everything. And James Thurston knows it. Backing down to pit road. You want to win the race, you want to win it off pit road, Hugh. And who else is the driver of the 24 in pole position stall? Perhaps having a shot here. And Molina out first and coming to the stripe. Max Molina! Winner off pit road by a wide margin. James Thurston second. Alex Anderson in 4th. Aiden Walker in 3rd. Chase Schaefer, Page, Wiles, and Todriff. Beaver Serrano behind him. And Sean Conklin in 10th. Rowe, Moriarty, Whitaker, and Brandon Dugan. As Michael Clementis is making up laps as we speak. Max Molina, 3 laps to go. And he's your new race leader. The slicky Ricky number 7 machine has made a slick move to get up to the front of the pack. And he's now in position to get the victory. An especially impressive job from Max Molina. And it will be 1 lap to green next time by. And how about it? The 7 machine looks to have it in the bag if he's able to hold on. But he hasn't been up front all race long. Certainly less expertise. When it comes to being up front with these guys than the others. 70 laps in, 3 laps to go. And Michael Clementis is going to be allowed to get his laps back. It looks like he's coming down pit road nonetheless. That might give him less of a shot to get back out front. We'll see how much time they give him, though. And if they're generous with the time, we might just see a few more laps under yellow. We'll find out whether or not that is the case. And Max Molina, your race leader. How about that? James Thurston second. Aiden Walker is in 3rd. And in the 4th spot, it is Alex Anderson. Chase Schaefer rounds out the top 5. And River Page is in 6th. Corey Lyles in 7th. Zach Todriff is in 8th. And Molina gonna lead him through. Everyone's getting double file this time by. Last caution lap before we get to the green white checker. There's gonna be 1 green flag lap and 1 in the white flag. The next flag will end it. Thurston up front all race long. Max Molina, not the case. We've seen him win at Kansas before. We'll see whether or not he's played the strategy perfect. It's all about leading the last lap. It's not about where you start. It's not about where you run. It's about where you finish. And Molina seems to know that for certain. He's played all this race on the lowest of keys, staying in the middle of the pack, avoiding trouble, and getting himself into the best strategy possible. And his time on pit road, 5 seconds slower than anyone else. And it looks like it ended up being 5 seconds faster on that last run. Molina, he's pulled it all together now. And he's made ends meet up to this point. Will he make it toward the end? We're going to find out now as the pace car dives in for what might be the last time. But it is the first time we head to the green-white checker procedure. It is overtime in Kansas. Let's see who gets it done. And it's going to be led on by James Thurston. That time by Molina not getting the best of starts. And the green-white for third. No contact just yet. Schaefer up to second. And he's going to use up all he's got. Group Page there as well. Your pole sitter, big wreck. And the caution flag is out. And everyone scrambles. Aiden Walker in the middle of it. And let's check out what happened. It's in replay on the matter of 40 seconds back. Let's watch the whole replay. Sending it back all the way here. And you can see 3 wide immediately. And this is when the problem began. Schaefer, contact with Aiden Walker. Alex Anderson gets to him and he gets in the wall there. Sean Conklin with Zach Todriff. Beaver Serrano around. And it all ends up with the majority of the field in shambles here. Moriarty gets back on the track. James Thurston is your leader. And it is Chase Schaefer in position number 2 as we head into the next restart. How about that? And everything has been shuffled up once again. Is Michael Diaz going to get some laps back now? Michael Cormetis is as well. And how about we get a word from the driver in the second position thus far? Everything shuffles once more. And it looks like it falls in place for the driver, the 99 machine, Chase Schaefer. Overtime number 1 in the books. Now on to overtime number 2. How are you going to approach what could be the final run of the night?
Good restart, and hopefully I don't slide it up into someone like I did just then. I was good beginning and middle of the corner, and then late in the corner, too much speed, so it started the dirty air started taking effect, and I just slid up a little bit into Aiden. Even I think he still had space up top, but it just the momentum slid up into someone. But yeah, just keep your heads up. Try and attack Thurston, which as much as we got. And yeah, outside works pretty well. Hopefully he doesn't choose it.
Absolutely, outside line looking to play a big factor in these restarts. But if you're forced to take the inside line, what's the move from there?
Hit the apron, and actually no. You know what? No. I want to keep Max behind me, or River behind me, and I want to have the best entry into 1 because Thurston's gonna have a lot of speed coming out on the outside, so I want to try and match it as best I can. So see how this works. Hopefully it's good. If not, then it's not.
And absolutely, still a little bit more time before we get back to the action. Any final thoughts before we head to the second overtime?
Nothing much right now. Just need to go try and hit this one. Number 3.
And there we have it. Chase Schaefer looking for back-to-back wins in the IORA Cup Series. Let's see whether or not he has what it takes to get it done. Thank you for your time.
Yep, thank you.
And Schaefer is there in second. James Thurston still leading the way. Next time by, we'll be heading to a 1-to-green scenario before we have our 2-lap shootout, the second overtime. Let's see if this time we are able to head with a white flag. When we do, the next flag will be the one that ends it. Michael Carmenas back on the lead lap. And Braxton Whitaker now 2 laps down. And Carmenas being on the lead lap, he's going to come down pit road, get new tires on him. And he should be able to stay on the lead lap this time. That we will find out, though it looks to be almost confirmed as is that he'll be able to do just that. And the Monster Designs number 99 following the Haas 96. Rear Page, your pole sitter, back up into third. And Max Molina is in fourth. Sean Rowe fifth. Mason Moriarty in position number 6. And Corey Lyles is in 7th. Brandon Dugan, Aiden Walker, Beaver Serrano round out your top 10. Todrick 11th. Sean Conklin 12th. Alex Anderson in 13th. And Michael Cormenis in position number 14. D comes back out on the track one last time to catch up to the field. As we are heading 1 to green. And 3 to go here in Kansas. Round 12 going to come to the end of its road in just a moment's time. And from here on out, things are going to get that much more interesting. Now the inside line, the one that Thurston chooses, Chase Schaefer, saying he preferred the outside line to begin with, and happy the race leader did not take it. We'll see whether or not he's capable of using it to his advantage. It is now or it is never. Of course, unless we have another restart, but the odds of that become slimmer and slimmer as each driver goes through more and more of their fast repairs. A majority of the field has gone through their one and only. As a matter of fact, only 3, including the race leader of James Thurston, have not taken any. Pace car is in. Overtime number 2 is going to get started. Let's go back at it again. We are green once again in Kansas. Let's see if we can get it done. 96-99, side by side entering the first turn. And Page down there on the inside line, pushing like his life depends on it. Sean Rowe there as well. Watch out. And a lot of contact, 3 wide in the middle of the pack here. But Schaefer gets out to a nice lead so far. Page going down for second on the inside line. He gets it. Coming down to the front straightaway. Will they get to the white flag? We're going to find out. We got to turn. We got to spin. Yellow flag is out once again. And we did not make it to the white. The race has been extended once again. And this 12th round refuses to quit on us. We've got another overtime ahead of us. And let's find out what happened. Mason Moriarty certainly involved in that one. As we head back 50 seconds to see why an incident occurred. There were 3 wide. Heading into the third turn here. And you can see, as we put it into slow motion, 3 wide tries to get up there. Sean Rowe there on the high side. Rowe going to get put into the wall. And Mason runs out of room. He's going to get spun around. And that is your yellow flag. Everyone else avoids it. And the caution is out once again. Second restart in the books. We're moving on to our third overtime finish attempt. We have an unlimited amount. This could go on all night. Although most likely, it won't. And Chase Schaefer, still your race leader. 3 laps to go. Page right behind him. Braxton Whitaker still getting laps back here. Schaefer leading over Page. And Sean Rowe in 4th has made his way up to the top of the pack. We'll see whether or not he's able to hold on here. Michael Cormetis making his way back into 8th. And how about Michael Cormetis? It looks like he was able to bounce back because it looks like he had a hardware failure earlier on, but he's up to the top 10 once again. And after restart, the strategy is changing. What's the move to perhaps get back up to the lead where you were before?
I don't know. I think I'm starting on the outside, but another huge turn of events in my race. Went 7 laps down, obviously after crashing, or my DPU overheating and causing my game to crash from the lead. Got all those laps back with 2 cautions, and I'm trying to see what I can do from here.
And absolutely a lot you can do from here, working your way back up now in the top 10. And do you think that a win is realistic given the way this race has gone so far?
Everything has to play in my favor. It's probably a wreck, but hopefully that's what happens and I make it through.
And it looks like we're already double filed thus far, so any final thoughts before we get back to the action?
Nope.
And there we have it, Michael Cormenis working his way back out front. He might be able to steal the show here if he completes yet another comeback. Thank you for your time. And Cormenis on his way, everyone getting focused here. This is the moment of truth, getting the victory, as we have a half a lap under the pacing car before we get back to the lead once more. The lead battle. It's all down to the 99 and the 24. These two going at it as hard as ever. James Thurston, third position. Corey Lyles in fourth. And Sean Rowe in fifth. Will we finish it this time by? We'll find out. In NASCAR, at one point, 3 overtime attempts was the limit, and then they would call the race. Of course, once it was none, you could enter yellow, then it became 1, then it became 3, and then it became as many as needed. Let's see if IORA has to use more than 3, because this time by, Chase Shaver is going to lead us once again. Overtime 3, here we go, 2, and everyone rolls off. And this time, it means he will last. River Page out front, he might be able to do it here. He's got a big gap. And everyone looks to be able to make it through the first 2 turns. Chase Shaver gonna make a move down the inside line. Gonna be a game of cat and mouse here. Everyone through the 3rd turn, coming down to the 4th. Aiden Walker gets a little bit squirrely, but he's gonna be able to save it. Shaver right up there with Page. This time we do make it the right flag. 1 left to go for River Page. And Page leading now by a 1/10 of a second. Shaver down to the inside line. What's he gonna do? And he is moving. Chase Shaver, big wreck. Cormenis, Conklin, everyone's around. Shaver's around. And Chase Shaver gets spun. Big time movement. Does Thurston have anything to take? He goes down to the inside. He goes up to the outside, but he does not have anything. River Page wins at Kansas. The upset. It's completed. What a way to end 2022. River Page wins in the IORA Cup Series. And Chase Shaver gets decked. He's in 14th. James Thurston comes home 2nd. And Sean Rowe comes home 3rd. But how about this? Page. He was looking for a good point tonight. He was looking for a win as well. He accomplishes both goals at once. And he's a force to be reckoned with tonight. Burning it down in style. Putting it in reverse here for a moment. And he's going to take it down to the Geico restart zone. And the celebration has only begun for River Page in his first career IORA Cup Series victory. How about it? An especially impressive job for the man in that 24. The 24 machine for the first time gets up at the down from the start finish line. How about that? And from the pole position to victory, he's able to translate it when it meant the most. And this is going to be a victory he's proud of for a long time. I'm sure of it. And he has burnt it down all the way. The driver, the 24 machine, off of the racing surface. But he's certainly not done celebrating. How about that performance for the driver of the 24 machine? And he did it all in style, coming home for his first victory in the IORA Cup Series. River Page and the number 24 machine gets it done from pole to victory. How do you feel?
I feel good. I've been waiting for a long time to win here. I feel like I've been pretty competitive, but just always come up a little bit short. I didn't think today would be the day for me, especially after I hit the wall. I'm sure you talked about that when I just killed the wall from the lead, and it was pretty bad. I was outside the top 10 for a while. And then I got back to the front with that big wreck, and I had a really good restart, and then Schaefer just sealed the win for me by blocking Thurston to the apron for no reason. So yeah.
And how about that? Still playing it perfectly there on the final restart. Can you walk us through how it was going through those final 2 laps?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Chase. He thinks I jumped the start, but I went on green. He just didn't go. There's not even they're not even reviewing it. I went on green and Chase just didn't really go, and I got clear of him. But he ran the outside, so I had to block him. But I stayed on the top, and I just knew that as long as I stayed on the top, he would have to put some crazy slider on me to pass me because the top is just so dominant here. And then he obviously just wrecked himself before he had the chance to slide up in front of me.
And absolutely nobody able to keep up with you at the end of the day and getting the victory here. And it looks like tire strategy played out very, very well. 13-lap-old set, a bit older than some of the guys fighting for that victory. How much did tires affect the overall strategy tonight?
Oh, tires were huge. I killed my tires on the first run, and it obviously affected me because I was so slow at the end of the first run. But I really it wasn't going for tire strategy because obviously I took tires on the overtime. So I had fresh tires. Wasn't really like a strategy move, but tires were like really important. I mean, you saw whoever took 2 tires that came out ahead of everyone from that overtime pit stop was just so slow.
And absolutely, at the end of the day, every factor played out in your favor. And that's going to conclude the run of races we have before Talladega, December 29th, after our off week. How do you feel going into that one before we resume the season? Of course, we have that off week and a little bit of time to reflect on, of course, this victory and the remainder of the championship hunt.
Yeah, I feel good, except for the fact that I have to buy like 5 tracks for the next part of this season. But yeah, I'm feeling good about this and a lot more confident about the championship now.
And absolutely putting together an incredible result that's going to put him back in the championship hunt here. It's River Page coming home with his first victory in the IORA Cup Series, and he gets it done in style. How about that? Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And there we have it for River Page in the 96 machine. Second position, it's the driver, the 96 in James Thurston. And it looks like in the end of the day, not able to get it done, but still coming home with a solid points night. Can you walk us through the final few laps?
Probably should have just took top on the restart. It was that I lost the lead, but I mean, you can never tell. I was probably going to get run up the track if I didn't take the bottom, so you just can't predict it. That's why I said just hoped we wouldn't finish this in an overtime, because it's always just chaos and calamity. Never a good finish.
And certainly finishing in overtime, a much more chaotic finish than what we thought we were on course for. Of course, with 4 laps to go before our first overtime attempt. And it looks like tire strategy, a lot of the guys up front on the 13-lap-old set before the restarts became frequent. And how much of those play into the factor of the final few restarts? Or was it all about picking lines toward the end when the choose rule was in effect?
I think Molina clearly showed that new tires definitely worked better than 2 tires, because he fell back like a rock. But yeah, I feel like I could have maybe sent it in there 3 wide in the last turn, but Schaffer decided that he wanted to give River the win, so that's what he did.
And it looks like some contact there with Chase Schaefer and, of course, yourself. And can you walk us through that, because we saw it for only a glimpse?
I have no idea what he was going for. He had the perfect position to get River right there. I thought he was just going to try to get alongside him, and I'd get alongside him, and then we'd go 3 by 3 into the final turn and just race it from there. But he decided to block me for absolutely no reason and got himself wrecked. I can't say it any different. That's what happened.
And certainly that one took you out of contention. And nonetheless, 1 week off before we head to Talladega. How do you feel in anticipation of that event, of course?
I don't know, Talladega, but we got that little endurance race we're gonna do in the league for Christmas, and that should be fun.
And absolutely an off-season, or rather, an unofficial event, so to speak, the endurance event coming this week, and more information to come on that, of course. But James Thurston, second position tonight. Any final thoughts before we leave this one off?
I don't know. Just can't win these things ever.
And James Thurston running out of time here, looks like. 96 machine, second position on the night. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And the 96 of James Thurston, second, of course. And we're going to try to get an interview from Sean Rowe, although it looks like at the moment he is not in any voice chat. And we'll try to get him in just a moment's time, but it does not look like we will be able to do so just yet. It looks like the first and second place drivers have been the ones we would be able to get to. Others, of course, Sean Rowe, and any requests don't appear to be here. The remainder of the interviewing session, and that will conclude the podium procedure a bit early, unless we get Sean Rowe in just a moment's time, although it does not look all too likely. So we're going to head to our race results here, because what a race that was. After so much time, the overtimes extending this race by 12 laps in total, and on pace for a very, very short run to the end. But it looks like Sean Rowe's here with us now. Sean Rowe, third position on the night. How you feeling?
I feel chaotic. I was run 13th at one point. I spun under green, and I don't know. I somehow got third after all those restarts, but just crazy.
And certainly the restarts played a big factor in the ending of this event and how everyone rolled out the tail end of it. How was it managing every single restart to the fullest and getting up to the podium?
Yeah, I got really lucky on the first restart, and that's really what put me up there, because I was working with Peter Serrano, also known as Beaver, and we went 4 wide on the inside going into 1. And then luckily, everyone wrecked in the outside, and I was able to just squeak through and get up near the front. And basically from then, I always start on the inside, which I like the inside more because I feel like you could push. And then usually the outside would be clear if you wanted to go high. And I think the second restart really helped me figure out what I was going to do for the third, because I went to the outside in like the middle of 1 and 2, and then I got really loose off, which it like told me on the third restart, if I'm clear going into 1 on the outside, I had to go up there. And I did, and that helped me stay clear of Walker, and then I was able to hold on to it. And then on the final lap in 3 and 4, me and Lyles got a little bit of net code, but I was able to bring it home P3, and very chaotic race for me.
Certainly a night of ups and downs, but still ending this section of the season off on a high note. Off week before we head to Talladega. How do you feel going into that event December 29th?
Oh, I feel great. That'll be a fun one. Love Talladega Next-Gen. It's going to be a good shot for me to win. I won there in Todd Lobbies a night or 2 ago. And as long as I can just not get wrecked out in that race and keep my car clean, I think I can have a really good shot at winning. And I love these super speedways, especially with the next gen. And I think I've started to figure out more and more how to run them. And I think if I don't get taken out, I can run very competitive and have a shot at the win.
And there we have it. Sean Rowe, third position tonight, looking for a victory. Next time we go racing here in the IORA Cup Series, but coming home strong after a very chaotic series of restarts. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
There we have it. Sean Rowe rounds out your podium procedure, able to get him at the tail end of it. And how about that now? Let's go on to your results page with River Page winning here tonight in the first position, qualified first as well, and James Thurston in second, 0.3 of a second behind. Sean Rowe in third rounds out your podium. Aiden Walker, Corey Lyles last in the top 5. Mason Moriarty in the number 6 machine finishes in 6th. It feels like he's there every single week. Zach Todriff in 7th and Brandon Dugan in 8th, with Alex Anderson in 9th and Michael Kremetis rounding at the top 10 following a hardware failure. And Sean Conklin in 11th, Max Molina in 12th, Beaver Serrano in 13th, Chase Schaefer in 14th following a last lap incident, and Braxton Whitaker in 15th, with Michael Diaz in 16th, still on the racing surface, and Kyle Freeman being your only retiree of the night. And how about that race? River Page, your winner for the first time, and it was quite the event. A lot of action, a lot of chaos, and at the end of the day, only one driver can win, and that one was River Page. We got to thank every single one of you for watching tonight, and we hope you enjoy the presentation. We will be back at 9:30 Eastern on the same channel, so be sure to keep us in mind. We will be back momentarily as the Highline Racing League High Point Premier Series gets back into action. 2 races left before the champion is decided. You're not going to want to miss it, so we hope you enjoyed tonight's presentation. We're far from done, but nonetheless, we hope you have a great night.